So I've got Mira.
Yeah.
You see I've got a little light spot here.
Yes.
I want her face there so she doesn't look like she's in the cold.
Okay.
So I'm going to place that there. Now I've got to be careful. I've got a new ink pad. And
yeah, bit juicy.
Yes. And I'm, note to self, Cathie, don't press too hard. But
because what will happen then if we press too hard?
well, when it's very, very juicy, you can thicken the line and
Right.
it can get a bit too inky,
Yes.
you know. So
we still want delicate.
yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? You'd know because you're a crafter. You've got the old stamp pads
That you love.
that you love, and you push hard and hard because you think there's going to be enough ink, and there isn't.
There isn't.
And then you go to the, you know, sublime to the ridiculous and get the new one, and then
It's a bit like a new mascara. It takes a bit of
That's it.
bit of a while to dry a little
yeah.
bit. So what ink did you use with
I'm
this?
using Vesfine Claire. I'm using the Nocturne.
Okay.
Just a note, while I was pulling off Mira, just be kept. This is a thinner part to the
Okay.
stamp, so don't just rip it off.
No, pull the plastic, not your
Yes,
stamp. Always,
yeah,
please.
just be careful.
She's beautiful, though.
She is beautiful. Oh, see, I didn't press hard enough, but there's enough there for me to work with.
Yeah, that's fabulous.
So that's her, and then I want to put the Podfather in the far corner.
So it's fabulous that you can mix the two together
Oh,
and
yes,
just really
yeah.
mix and match these up. I love that you can use your stamp positioners with these as well. It's not a problem. But look at that. But with those inks as well at the background, they look incredible.
Yes. Now the inks, because they're water-based,
Yep.
they're water-soluble. So what I could do, I've done my whale. I could actually put water on top of the whale and dab
Chase
off.
it a bit,
yeah.
yeah.
So it makes him slightly paler, which is a really lovely technique. Oh yeah, beautiful.
But that looks, yeah.
Oh, just think, and the inks are so. I mean, right? Where's my little frame?
The colours are bright and light. They're not dark and deep. They're really bright.
Aren't they? I mean, look at that.
That looks
just
fab.
as a one piece. Forget her, just on
Yeah.
his own. But what I want to do is I want to show you how to actually then paint on top. So
Okay.
we can put water on and take colour off, but we can also add colour. Now, because they're water soluble, I put my inks in a palette and I
Yep.
leave them there. Don't wash it out.
No.
Days and days and weeks later, I come back to my palette and I can
Fab.
keep going. So I think have I got my purple? Put the purple out. So I've got the two same colours. You need such a small amount.
I'm going to
of-
say they're going to last you a
Oh
long,
my
long
God,
time,
yeah,
aren't they?
absolutely. So what we can do is we can then edge. So I'm going to just go around the edge here, and I want her to sort of pop out.
Okay.
So we've got that, and then with clean water. Oh no, that one's dirty, Cathie. Use the clean one. With clean water on a brush, we just add the clean water and drag it out.
Sorry, Cathie, I'm getting closer and closer. Ed's going further and further down. I'm that intense watching it because they're so beautiful and what you've done with it's fabulous. So I do apologise. I shall stand up. I'm like this. Oh, what we're doing? It looks fab.
Oh, it's great fun.
Yeah.
But can you see how by putting it almost like a bit of shading round her, using the same colours, we're going to throw her forward?
And look how easy it blends.
Yeah,
Even with the dry underneath, it's blending beautifully.
Yeah. And you know I said you could put water on and actually take some off.
Yeah.
You can blend it, but it doesn't. It's not moving the pigment underneath. You know, sometimes you move it, you can get like a line.
Yeah.
It doesn't do that. Honestly,
That's what I'm so impressed about. That's why I thought putting that on top of that, is it going to lift the colour off? Is it going to... It just gives that seamless blend.
Yeah.
If you're struggling with watercolour pens, pencils and things like that, I would honestly say to you, get yourself, you know, mix and match this, stock up on these if you've got your flexi basket. This is going to make your colouring so much easier.
And then what we could do is this purple we've got up here, we could just add little dots of it.
Yeah.
You know, and it could act as a bit of shading as well, you know. So we've got reference to the colour. I mean, we add lots of mediums to the pink ink range, but it's the inks that have excited me the most.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm working on some silk flowers at the moment for my niece. She's getting married.
Wow.
And they were the wrong colour. And I thought, oh, I wonder if because they're so intense. I wonder if I could put the inks on the flowers, and they've stained the flowers.
So you could do that with satin ribbon,
Yeah,
organza,
yeah.
things like that. But bear in mind as well, how many of you try and, with your ink pads, you put them on your mat, you add your water, and they go a bit sludgy looking. You know what I mean? With this, you can control it onto the paper. You can add what you want. You can take away what you want, and the colour is just so rich. Look at this. but you're just filling in the gaps now, and it really is beautiful on there as well. So you've got those on there too. But look at this.
Yeah, no, I haven't gone very heavy with her hair with the ink, but it's not going to matter because I can throw that forward.
So you'd always go in a little bit darker then in between her hair and everything else to give that shadow.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And so we could carry on like that, and then...
I bet you spend hours doing this.
I do.
I would.
I absolutely love it. And like I say, we can take some of this out. I mean, it's not going to take a huge amount out because it's like a stain, but you just keep working at it and you take more and more out.
You know, if you use, say, I know like you're using kitchen roll, but you know, if you use something with a texture, say like a microfiber cloth, would it add texture as well while you were lifting it off?
Yeah,
try that?
Yeah, probably it would. I mean, I've tried everything. I've put salt on things.
Oh, I mean, that looks great.
We've got some great salt. It's really difficult because we've got so much to show. It's what do we show first?
So you could even sprinkle salt into it when it's wet then?
Yeah,
wow.
Salt, and it goes really beautifully textured. I've used crumpled up paper and then added the inks, and oh, it's just fantastic. Right, let's add a bit of shading around this one.
Now I'm going to play devil's advocate here. Could we mix some of the powders with this as well?
You can, yeah. And I was meant to do that in my first demo and completely forgot. But I am going to. I was like,
could we do this? See, we all get a bit then creative, and we're like, oh, I wonder if you can mix this and add bits in.
What I'll do is I'll do it on this one, seeing as we're here. So can you see what I'm doing here? I'm actually following. I like this line.
That,
I don't want to lose that line because I think it's nice. So this is going on the top. Now, if you want to add your Stardust powders, the gold is my favourite. I have to say we've got the full range of colours, but the gold, I use the gold,
is
the
this
silver.
What you've used on her hair?
The gold, silver and metallic are by far the best. So when you're doing this technique where you're putting your drops in and it's all spreading, right, so in order to make the powders work, you have to have a wet surface.
Okay.
And then what we do is we just drop it from a height.
Oh, it's like liquid gold.
Isn't it? It's of course you can do more of it, less of it.
You might not be able to see that at home, but believe you me,
I'll show you on a dry piece in a moment.
Look at this.
But the key is, I mean, I did this demo before and somebody at home tried it and said, I just can't get the powder to stick. And
it's got to be wet.
It's got to be wet. It's like if you put powder or flour or something on any, it's got to be able to absorb it. If it's absorbed it, it's going to stick to the surface. So if you would like, if I could just have a look at these ones as demos, this is to show how the right. So can we see? Right, can you see here? This is I've dropped this from a height.
Look at that.
And then I've just done some crayon work, but you could do ink work, you could do watercolour work on top.
That's phenomenal. But honestly, mix the powders with the inks as well. Look at the different effects you're getting.
Can you see I'm addicted to the gold?
Have you just painted those?
Yeah, I literally have painted.
Wow.
So when I paint with the powders, what I do is I never put it in a palette because you don't need a palette.
No.
All you need is the lid.
Okay.
And what I do is I put some water in the lid.
Well, you're not wasting it then.
No, you're not wasting any. And can you see how it's mixing up? It's so easy to mix up.
I saw there was a guy, I think it was India, and he was doing a mural on the wall, and he was hand painting in liquid gold like this.
Yeah.
Honestly, the reflection this has got, it is like real gold. It looks amazing.
So you just need a little brush and on it goes. That's it.
Wow. Just think of all the different stamp designs you've got where you could add just a little glint. It could be the cat's whiskers. You might just want to add that, or, you know, you might have, I don't know, a trail of smoke in the air. You might have a little cottage, you know, stamp or something. That would look incredible.
You don't just use it on watercolours or ink painting.
No, you can use it on different
absolutely, on different. And all it is with water.
So do we have to seal it then if we're using it on different things?
I haven't sealed it with this, but if this was going to have use or something, I mean, this is just a demo piece really, I would wax it, like a clear wax or something.
Look at,
isn't it beautiful?
This is, you imagine making something like that for somebody's wedding or something like that in
or Christmas.
Colours. Christmas.
Hang it from imagine a tree full of little wooden spoons and right. So here we are now. You can, I don't know if you can see on the overhead where I've used the
gold.
gold. So if you look at her hair.
It looks like you've used a metallic pen. It is that shiny.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
And I mean, the samples that we've done, they don't lose their sheen. I did those, you know, a long time ago, and they're still really, really shiny.
I love that you don't have to seal it. You don't have to do anything.
No.
You just paint it on as you wish, and you're good to go.
Yeah. So the reason I chose this composition was because of the ink that was given to me.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? And so I thought, well, she fits nicely there. That fits nicely there. And then if you think, well, okay, you know, how do I know where else to put bits and bobs? What I do is I stamp onto copy paper. These are from the... Oh, you can't get that from me, could you please, Dawn? Thank you. And what I would do is I would sort of rest things on, and I'd try and get some sort of
like balance and movement,
yes,
flow.
And you know, if you think, oh no, that doesn't really work like that, and you know, or perhaps these need to be connected to this. That's how I would work out where I want my...
A bit like when you're doing a layout for a card and we say, don't commit to the stick.
Yes.
This is don't commit to the stamp. So just position and have a look first.
I've not heard that before. Don't commit to the stick.
I always say that because I don't stick it down till you're sure. Don't commit to the stick. Because how many times you stuck it down and you thought, oh, that really don't need to go there. It needs to go somewhere else.
So now these little dolphins, silhouette dolphins, are off Neptune, which are on the show, and I love these. What I'm thinking is sort of, I want to come up and round because it's got that sort of flow to it.
So that's from Neptune.
Yeah, so I want to put these up there, and I think I'm going to go for a colour.
And that ink pad, that is the VersaFine Clear, matches exactly with the inks as well that obviously are on the show from the pink ink designs. So I would honestly say to you, you know, you've got a lot of ink pads that are going to coordinate with these colours beautifully.
Yeah. I mean, you could do it in grey or like a lime or... now, what I want this to be second generation because I think that's going to be too...
So what does that mean?
That means I take one print on a piece of scrap. See, I think that would have been too heavy. And then my second impression is lighter.
There we go.
And you know, with the bubbles down here, sometimes that's third or fourth impression because I didn't...
you don't want it too bold.
No. The important pieces are these two characters and you're kind of sort of filling in the gaps in between.
Oh, wow.
Actually, I've got two there. I don't want to copy that because it'll look a bit even. So we'll do... Right, now what I'm going to do with this fish is I'm actually going to turn its tail.
Okay.
I mean,
it's nice. You can do that with these.
Yeah. Don't forget with your stamps, not just ours, but they can be manipulated.
Yeah.
You can slightly change the shape. And I know I've got another fish somewhere that might be pointing the opposite
You'll
direction.
spend out, if I'd just stamp them all out on the sheets first so you can see a visual of what you've got. So then you can flick through and think, right, I want that one, because it will all work.
I obviously would have another one there, but for the time being, I'm just going to put a little bit. I want her to be the one that's coming forward. So actually I'm going to do the same treatment as the whale. I'm actually going to put the colour on. And like fish, you want it to look sort of silvery. You want to miss a few bits.
So like the light would reflect off them.
Exactly, yeah.
This looks gorgeous.
And this is just a tiny, tiny bit of these inks.
So they will last you a long, long time.
They do, yeah.
Can you mix the inks together as well to make another colour?
Yeah, of course you can.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely you can. And then
you know, like some inks you can't. You've got they are as they are.
No, you can join them together. So we'll just make this. I just want this one to be almost like a bit like a shadow.
Yeah.
And then what I want to do is I've got. I mean, look at that. I mean, look at that. It's just so intense. That lovely sheen.
Look at the play of the light on that with the Stardust.
Beautiful, isn't it?
What colour's this one? Can I just have a look? Sorry.
Yeah, I think is it on the bottom?
Does it say on
I think it's on the bottom. Turquoise waters.
Turquoise
How
waters.
appropriate
Exactly.
that I'm doing this. So
because I've seen the turquoise in the inks on the desk, and that is the vibrancy on that is just beautiful. But look at this. So you'd always recommend with a brush, not better than a water brush, or can you use...
No, you can use a water brush. I mean, I've been brought up with brushes, so, you know, it's
the
my...
artiste.
Yeah, it's
so
my
you're
sort of...
trained.
Yeah. But, you know, use whatever you want. I am actually going to use this one quite heavy, right? So it has got an edge, so if you want to use it as an edge, but you can twist it.
Oh, you can piece it.
Yeah.
That's clever. Does it take you hours to draw these?
Sometimes it takes hours. Sometimes they come really, really quickly.
Really?
It just depends. Can you see how?
That looks fab.
Isn't it beautiful? And I might even bring just a little bit down here.
Wow. Whereas, well, it's like making a card sometimes, you know, crafters, we can put a card together, it look amazing in 10 minutes, but then sometimes you can be at it for hours and or all day even. I've done that before now, until it's come together exactly how you want it. That looks fab.
So, like here, I'm literally just getting, I'm not doing all of it.
Just pieces of it.
Yeah, you can just do an edge of it.
I love it because you educate us that you can be more not too structured, and you can do that. And I love when you do that, Cathie, because it really does probably give us all confidence. Right,
this is the copper. I'm actually enjoying doing copper and gold. The gold, and look, I mean, it's just so beautiful. But this is why I like this sort of lozenge shape, because it's great for backgrounds, and you know, you can just do some on their own, you can mimic them, and
a bit abstract,
it is a bit abstract, isn't it? Yeah. But actually it works so well with this.
It does.
But what I want to do is I want to...
It's like a different form of bubbles.
Yes, exactly.
It's a pattern, but you know what I mean?
Geometric,
that's the word.
So here's my Stardust powder in the turquoise waters. And even if that's wet and you put it back on, the worst that can happen is a bit of powder sticks to it before it's dry. Yeah. And then all you do is just reconstitute it. Yeah, wet it again. It doesn't go off in lumps back into the pot.
Don't waste it in a palette, just keep it in your lid.
So when I'm looking at this as a piece, I can sort of see that like there's a bit of movement with my composition. But actually I want to kind of link it a bit more, and I want to mimic what is on here. So what I can do is with my, I want to make sure I haven't got too much on my brush to start with. I just want to join them up. Now, if you're not confident in just going off-piste, draw it in. What I sometimes do is actually get a piece of tracing paper.
All right.
And I lay the tracing paper and I draw it on the tracing paper. And then I think, oh, yeah, that works, or that doesn't work. Yeah. Or just sort of go where you feel like going. Or just use a pencil and actually draw it straight on.
And just do it very, very faint, yeah.
Yeah. So I want to pick up this leaf here, so it looks like it's all part of the same collection.
Oh, right, yeah. So you're adding your own touches. I love that.
I mean, and it's such a simple thing to add, isn't it?
That's it, and it is a simple shape to do. You know, it's like a curve one side and a curve the other. Yeah. Easy. Please don't overthink it, or even just practice on a little bit of, you know, paper first. But a lot of you can do this.
Maria, who does a lot of work for us and everything, she's lovely. She always says, "Oh, I've done something, Cathie, and it's gone wrong. It's not right." I said, "It's not that it's not right. It's not finished."
Yes.
If you look at something and think, "Oh God, that doesn't look right," you just have to keep working at it and changing and adding, and then once you're pleased with it, you can then say it's finished. Yeah,
it's a little bit like people do. They call it like maps, but it could be a sketch as well for your card when you're doing a card blank. You do a sketch first. You could get a piece of copy of paper and just roughly stamp it out, but don't colour it in. But put your design on there as well. So you could have a go like that. Look at this.
When we sort of do products, we want products all to work with other stuff, because otherwise, it can be expensive, and you don't want to just use it once. You want to use it in so many different ways. So can you see how that's all? Yeah, and I would do more. I do way more than that. Yeah. I'm going to get this is another.
This is the turquoise I was talking about. I saw that and I thought in the bottle it just looks amazing.
Yes, it is lovely. So what I want to do, I'm just going to go like this. I think this is going to work. Okay.
Oh wow. This is things that you've already got. Believe you me, you can do this.
Can you see where I'm sort of going? So,
but she can see how much potential they've got. And honestly, even I'm thinking, oh, I could mix this with water. I can paint with it. I can spritz with it. You can do all sorts with it. But that looks fabulous.
Yeah. So all I would do, Dawn, is I just want to do more of this, just to make that really pretty. But I hope it's inspired people to want to have a go.
It is.